Okay, so our topic for today is all about probability of events. No? Again, our topic for today is all about probability of events. Now, I told you last time that this topic is related to the previous topic, which is all about the counting principles. Okay? I hope you understood the counting principles from Theorem 1 to 8. If not, you will have problem dealing with this topic. Okay? Now, let's start with opening the scan book. Okay? Now, these are the three sort of general concept that you need to understand, okay, before we're dealing with the three theorems. Again, we'll be dealing with three theorems, but theorem 2 will be divided into three sub-theorems. Okay. Now, what are those three general concepts that we need to understand? Okay. First, the probability of any events, for example, event A, is always greater or equal to 0. It means to say, if that is the case, okay, negative probabilities are not allowed. Again, negative probabilities are not allowed. The minimum probability that you can consider or you can solve is 0. Okay? It means to say 0%. No? So on the other hand, okay, the probability of any events is also may be less than or equal to 1. Okay? So in short, probabilities that is more than 100%, okay, is not realistic. No, you cannot say that. For example, I'm 110% sure that I will submit. I will pass the subject. No, I can submit the requirements on time. Okay, you cannot say that. Okay, if you're talking about probabilities, no, because it's umbaga ano siya, yung parang exaggerated yung statement mo. Yung 110%, 150%, no? Dapat maximum palagi is 1 or 100%. Okay? But there are cases, okay, when you say in terms of percentage, you can use actually 130%, 150%. No? For example, if you want to compute uh, the uh, the salary of the person na nag-overtime. No? So example, the computation is 150%. Okay? So you can use that kind of concept na nagsobra ka siya ng 100%. Okay? So ibig sabihin, you need to multiply 1.5 doon sa kanyang basic salary. Okay? But again, in probability, okay, bawal dapat kayo magsobra ng 100%. Okay? So ito yung first na general concept. The second general concept is always, okay, kapag tinanong kayo that what is the probability na mangyari yung null or empty space, of course, your answer is always equal to 0. Example, what's the probability of mag-winter dito, mag-snow sa Jensen? Okay? It's impossible to happen. So you say it's 0%. No? For now, I'm not talking about for the eternity, no? Kasi baka kasi mag-move ang Jensen na malapit doon sa nag-snow. Okay? We don't know. Centuries from now. But for as of today, it's impossible to happen. So your answer is always equal to 0%. Okay? And the next na general concept is the probability of a sample space is always equal to 1. Okay? It means to say, anong probability na mangyari yung lahat, okay, o kung ano man kung nasa loob ng sample space, for example, no, is always equal to 1. I will restate. No? Ano yung probability na mangyari yung lahat ng outcomes? No? Okay? Is always equal to 1. Why? Okay. When you go back with our previous na handouts, I we'll discuss, I think I attach yung doon nata sa Word na document, no? Yung ito, I will open, no? Open lang natin sa Paint. Okay, itong formula na ito, class, no? Okay, this formula. Okay. Now, we're saying a while ago, the probability of S is equal to 1. Why? Because when you're talking about S, lahat. No? So it means to say, yung numerator nyo, lahat din. So it means to say that yung numerator nyo is equal to the denominator because yung denominator nyo is capital N or lahat ng outcomes. So if you divide, okay, a number or a variable by itself, okay, the answer is equal to 1 or 1.0. That is why the answer here is equal to 1. Okay? Now, let's proceed with theorem number 1. Theorem number 1, or This is Theorem 4.9 in your book. Okay? It's denoted by this formula. It has general form of the probability of any event. For example, event A, okay, example lang, no? Pwede siya mag B, C, D if you want, no? Is equal to small letter n over capital N, where your small n means the favorable outcomes. It depends on the problem kung ano yung ina-ask. And capital N means the total possible outcomes. Okay? Dito na papasok yung ating counting principles class, no? Okay, first example is this, no? You're asked, a coin is tossed twice. What is the probability that at least one head occurs? Okay. Unang papasok sa isipan natin is, of course, the formula. The formula is this one. Ano yung N? Ano yung capital N? Ano yung small n? Okay, here. Now, remember yung problem? You're asked, what's the probability that yung makuha mo is may isang head. At least means minimum, no? May isang head. Doon sa experiment that if you're asked to toss a coin, okay? Toss the coin ba or a pair of, okay, nakalagay pala is a pair, no? Dalawang coin yung iyong ito-toss, no? Oh, no. Isang coin lang pala, but toss twice, no? So, yun yung experiment. Okay? Isang coin, you need to toss twice or flip the coin twice. Okay. So, using the tree diagram, you say in the first flip, okay, possible na lalabas is head or tail, no? What if head ang lalabas? You need to flip again kasi required ka mag-toss ng dalawang beses. So, you need to toss again, possible pa rin head at saka tail. Okay? Or, what if tail ang lalabas? So, possible pa rin head and tail. So, these are the possible outcomes. No? If you will use the listing method, you have HH, TH, or HT, TH, and TT. Okay? Dalawang T. Okay? So, if you use the listing method again, so klaro doon, okay? Saan doon yung merong at least one head or isang head lang. Okay, let's count, ha? By the way, if you want to count ilan ba yung possible outcomes, okay, kung bilangin natin, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in short, yung capital N natin, 4. Yung total possible outcomes. Now, using your counting principle, pwede natin magamit yung Theorem 1, tama ba? Now, you flip the coin twice. Okay, sa first flip, possible na outcome, dalawa, head, tail. Okay? Then, the second flip, okay, 2. 2 pa rin, head, tail. Okay, remember the multiplication rule? Okay, kung ano yung outcomes, possible outcomes sa first, the second, you just need to multiply. So, the answer is 4, no? 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So, that confirms tama yung pagbilang natin na 4. Okay? 4 dapat yung capital N. No. Yung required sa problem, again, ano daw yung probability na may minimum na isang head? So, bilangin natin. No? So, dito ba merong at least one na head? Okay, let's count. May isang dalawang head. So, pasok, no? 1. Okay? May isang ito, pasok sa event A. Ito dito, okay, head, tail, may isang head. Okay pa rin. Okay? I'm counting, ha? Counting principle tayo. The next, tail head. Okay? May isang head. Okay? 3. Okay? Ito, TT, walang head. Okay? So, wala siyang head. Yung dalawang T, walang head. So, it means to say, yun lang hindi kasama. Sa tatlo lang talaga, no? Yung Tagalog dyan nag-react. Yung Tagalog dyan, suluhin nyo yung ano ha, TT daw na walang head. Okay, so ang answer is 3 over 4, no? Okay, 3/4. So you will go back with the our PDF file. As you can see, the answer is 3/4. Okay, there, no? 3/4. Okay. Now, example number 2. Example number 2, Theorem 1 pa rin tayo. If a card is drawn from our ordinary deck, find the probability that it is a heart. So, ilan ba yung possible outcomes doon? Okay. All of you, I think most of you will say 52 kay marunong man kayo magbaraha, no? Ilang hearts ba lahat? Okay? 13, sir. So, in short, Your solution is 13 over 52 or simply 1/4. No? Bakit 1/4? Okay? For those students na hindi pamilya sa baraha, there are 52 cards daw. Yung 52 cards na yun, nahati yun sa 4. So we have malunggay, espada-espada, heart, at diamond. No? Nag-13 daw yun sa class. No? Yung event na yun, okay, let's say event A, you just need to draw a heart. Okay? So again, doon tayo sa general formula. Ilan ba yung total possible outcomes? 52. Ilagay yung 52 sa ilalim. Ilan yung possible outcomes na i-draw a heart? 13. Ilagay sa taas yung 13. So therefore, 1/4. Okay? Ganun lang kadali, class, no? Kung naiintindihan nyo yung problem. Okay, next. In theorem number 2, so we'll divide this into 3. No? Pero we'll discuss lang dalawa kasi yung ika-third naman related dun sa pangalawa na sub-theorem. No? In theorem 2, okay, 2A muna tayo. Okay? Nandito sa ating theorem 2, pinamix na yung ating ano ba? Okay, theorem 2, that is in our book, it's 4.10, no? 4.10. This is theorem number 2, 4.10. I-close ko, nalito ako dun sa Venn diagram. Okay, 4.10. It has this formula. The probability of the union of A and B is equal to the probability of A plus probability of B minus the probability of their intersections. Okay? So please familiarize this formula. This is the first sub-theorem under theorem number 2. The next sub-theorem is have this formula. What if daw yung dalawang events mutually exclusive? Di ba sinabi natin last time kapag mutually exclusive, wala siyang common. Okay? Kung wala siyang common, balik tayo dito sa formula sa theorem 2, tanggalin lang natin itong section na ito. As you can see, kung i-compare nyo siya, okay, pareho lang yan sila, class. Yeah? They are the same. But you remove this. Okay? And another sub-theorem under this theorem 2, what if hindi lang dalawa? Okay? Marami siya. Example, aabot ng A, B, C, D. No? So in short, A, union B, union C, union D, okay, is equal to the probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C plus probability of D. Okay? Sa libro, instead of letters A, B, C, D, ginawa niya is A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3, and so on and so forth. Okay? So yun yung tatlong theorems under theorem number 2. Let us first discuss this formula, no? So meron siyang example dito. Example 25. The probability that the student passes mathematics is 2/3, and the probability that he passes English is 4/9. If the probability of passing at least one course is 4/5, what is the probability that he will pass both courses or subjects? No? Now, in dealing a problem, you must first enumerate all the given. Okay, that's my advice kahit sa anong subject class. No? Para mas mapadali yung pag-enumerate yun ng given, we always declare variable. Okay? In this problem, I think it's best to declare variable sa mathematics. Let's say para mas close sa given, M. Okay? M means mathematics. And E means English. So since this is probability, so dapat meron tayong probability or P, open, close, parentheses, yung sa loob yung M. Okay? The same also with the other given, capability of E. Okay? Kung meron kayong notebook dyan, class, kindly put on your notebook. Okay? These are the keywords. Kapag you are referring with least, at least, no, na words, at least na word, okay, at least or minimum, automatically, please assume, no? Assume ka pa yung palagi that should be yun. Okay? Yun yung kanyang symbol. If both, I think there's no need to explain. Kapag both means common. Pag common, intersection. Okay? There, intersection. So in short, yung given na 4/5 is your union. Union of the probability of union ng dalawang events. No? Now, as you can see, dun sa previous natin na formula, sir, nagbaliktad lagi, sir. Okay? It's because given itong portion na ito. So, yung ginawa ng author, derive yung formula ng unknown, which is yung both will pass the courses, which is denoted by intersection. So, ilipat lang natin to sa left side, kaya magiging positive. Ilipat natin sa kabilang side, magiging negative. That is why when you go back with the solution, okay, ito na siya. Okay? After that, you just need to substitute all the given. Using your calculator class, okay, just use the regular calculator. 2/3 plus 4/9 minus 4/5 will give you 14/45. Okay? So that is theorem 2 sub A. Okay? Next. Theorem 2 sub B or B, okay, has yung formula na wala siyang common. No? In short, tanggalin natin yung last section o last portion ng formula. Tinanggal natin dito, no? Ano yung tinanggal natin? Yung minus probability of A intersect with B. Okay, yung tinanggal natin, no? Okay, ito yung natira. Okay, you're asked here, okay, this is example. What is the probability of getting a total of 7 or 11 when a pair of dice is tossed? Again, counting principle tayo. First natin iisipin, ilan ba yung total outcomes? Okay? So don't give me an answer 6 times 2. It will give you 12. Okay? Again, let's go back with counting principles class. No? I told you, kaya na i-multiply natin, diba sinasabi ko, ilan yung outcomes sa first sub-experiment. Okay? In this case, okay, dalawa mang dice, no? So first na die, possible, 6. Okay? Sa second na die, 6 pa rin. Okay? Yun yung explanation ko sa counting principles. So therefore, 6 times 6 is equal to 36, not 6 times 2. Anong meaning ng 2? Okay, kung yun ang inyong solution. Kasi yun madalas na binigay sa akin ng answer kanina, no? So again, mali yung 6 times 2 class. 6 times 6 is equal to 36. So may idea na tayo mamaya, yung ilalim o denominator should be 36. Now let us proceed what is required, okay? Okay, kapag or daw dito, okay, automatically use the union, okay? Yun yung parang isulat yun sa notebook nyo kapag or, yun. Now next, okay, a total of 7. Okay, imagine yung experiment, dalawa yung dice, throw mo. Okay, tinatanong ka kung ilan yung total 7. So titingnan mo yung top ng die, no? Yung cube. Kapag 5 yung isa, 2 yung isa, uy, 7. I-total mo 7. So pasok siya dito sa event na A. Okay? Other possibility, 4 at saka 3. Total mo 7 din yun. Okay? Event A pa rin siya. Then 6 at saka 1, 7 pa rin yun. So event A pa rin yun. Okay? Now, pwede natin baliktarin maging 2 at saka 5. It's because magkaibang sitwasyon yung 2 at saka 5 dito kaysa dito sa 5 at saka 2. Bakit? Okay? Kasi yung 5 dito, nasa first na die. Okay? Yung 5 dito, nasa second na die. So magkaiba yun na sitwasyon. That is why we will count that another element or sample point, okay, same 4 and 3, 3 and 4, 6 and 1, 1 and 6. Okay? You ask yourselves, meron pa ba na mag-total na 7? If you will say to the class, sir, paano pag 0 at saka 7? Okay, meron bang 0 sa cube? Okay, wala. So, wag mo dapat sabihin na may 0 at saka 7. Okay, walang 0 sa cube. Okay, so I think ito lang lahat. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So therefore, yung maliit natin na n mamaya is 6, no? Ayan, 6. Ang total natin is 36. Okay? Now next, a total of 11, I think dalawa lang, no? Kapag yung top ng cube 5 first na die, okay? Yung second na die 6, 11 yun. Okay? Another one, yung unang die 6, then second die 5. Okay? I think dalawa lang, no? You think, no, kung meron pang iba. Again, wag yung sabihin, sir, what if, sir, 8 at saka 3? Lagi pwede kapag, kasi walang 8 doon sa cube o sa die, no? Hanggang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ang tayo doon. Okay, so hindi pwede A3, hindi pwede 9, 2. Okay, so ito lang dalawa yung possible. So let's count 1, 2. Okay, so 2 over 36. Okay, so since we have already the given, okay, use the formula given above, no? So ito na yon. So the answer daw is 8 over 36 or 2 over 9 or 2/9. So that's the final answer, 2 over 9. So let's compare yung answer natin dito. Okay, so 2 over 9, ayan. That's the answer, no? 2 over 9. If you're not contented with my explanation, you go back with our book. Okay, may explanation din yung book dito, no? Okay. The next, okay, under the theorem, okay, you may use the same, pwede natin i-assume na lang ito. Okay, what if, okay, meron pang C dito, no? A total of 8. Okay, ano yung mga possible na outcomes dito? Total of 9. Okay, so in short, haba lang ito ba? No? Pwede siyang union C, union D. So mag-add lang tayo ng plus dito na dalawa pa. Okay, yun lang yung theorem 2C. Okay, dagdagan lang ito ba? Okay, kung ilan yung pwede natin i-given doon sa problem. Okay, we're done with theorem number 2. Now, theorem number 3, okay, has this general formula, ito sa baba, that if you add the probability of the complements of that event is always equal to 0. Okay? Actually, parang recall lang siya with our previous na topic. Remember this topic class, no? If you're asked, okay, to get the union of A and its complement, the answer is equal to S. Okay? Naintindihan nyo ba ito dati pa, no? So, plus man ito, union man to, combine lang, so plus lang, no? It means to say, S yung kanyang magiging value. Excuse. Okay, so let's go back with our whiteboard. Okay? So, ito yung kanyang equivalent din na formula. Okay, napansin nyo? Because the probability of S is equal to 1. Okay, remember nyo yung sinabi ko kanina? The probability of S is equal to 1. Remember, if we add all the probabilities, if we add the sample points found on that event, say event A, and its complement, okay, the answer is always equal to S. Okay. Now, if you're asked what's the probability of S, okay, kalimutan nyo, the probability of S is sa taas, no? Just taas, yan. 1. Okay? That is why, yung last theorem natin, okay, nakalagay dito, okay, yan, 1. Because kapag inad mo ito, S man siya. Okay? Next. Now, the example here, a coin is tossed 6 times in succession. What is the probability that at least one head occurs? So minimum daw isang head, no? Okay, so first, again, ilan yung possible outcomes? So let us use the counting principles theorem. Okay? So coin toss 6 times. Don't tell me 2 times 6. Okay? Again, let's focus kung ilan yung outcomes kada sub-experiment niya. Okay? Sa first niya na toss, okay, dalawa head-tail. Second niya na toss, head-tail pa rin. Okay? Third na toss, head-tail pa rin. Third, head-tail pa rin. So, dapat 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay? Dapat ganun dapat yung solution natin, hindi 2 times 6. Okay? Correct ko agad yung possible na sasagot ng estudyante dito, no? Hindi dapat 2 times 6. Or that is 2 raised to the power of 6. Kasi ito nasa libro, 2 raised to the power of 6, no? Is equal to 64. Now, you're asked, what is the probability of at least one head occurs, no? If you will draw a tree diagram, ang gagawin nyo, dagdagan nyo lang ata ito ng 4, tama ba? 4, kasi dalawang toss lang ito eh. Okay, so, we'll have branches na dalawa din. HT gapo, no? HT pa rin to, HT. Ika-third pa lang yung na-toss. Ika-fourth na toss, dadami na siya, no? Marami na masyado. Ika-fifth, lalong dadami. And sixth, lalong dadami yung kanyang branches. So, kung titingnan natin sa pinakataas, ang possible ata na outcome is H, 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 H. Okay? So, 6 na H. So, nilagay natin dito, possible outcomes, this one, 6 na H. Okay? Kung bababa tayo sa tree diagram, okay, pwedeng possible na answer is H, 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 H. Pwede yung T na doon sa other branches niya. So, possible outcome is 5 H and 1 na T. Okay? And so on and so forth. Now, the question, is it practical that you will enumerate all? Okay, remember, there are 64 outcomes. And we don't know, no? Sa ngayon, di pa natin alam kung ilan yung nabilong sa event na ito. But, okay, we are definite. Okay? Pag in-analyze nyo na, we are definite, we are sure Sure good ko sir, na naaarag yung isa, meron talagang isa na wala yung head. And that outcome is yung T, 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 yung anim na T. Okay. Katawa naman ng mga Tagalog dyan, no? Ato yung mga Bisaya na na-use na yun sila sa word na ganyan eh. Okay, so yung anim na T dito, no? So yan lang yung hindi kasama dito. Remember, okay, we define complement as ano yung mga outcome na hindi kasama doon sa event na yun, in this case, event A, na makita mo sa S. And that is represented by this outcome. So, ilagyan lang natin ng A complement. Okay? I hope naiintindihan ito, class, ha? Okay, sure lang tayo na may isa lang talaga siyang outcome na walang head. Okay? Ito lang. So, in short, pwede natin i-given the probability of A complement. This one is unknown. We don't know, no? And the constant na 1. Again, this can be given. This is unknown, and this is constant. So therefore, the probability of event A, where at least one head occurs, is equal to 1 minus, yung may formula pa rin ito, class, na n, small n over capital N. We all know capital N is 64. Small n, let's count. 1. Isa lang yan siya, class, no? Isa lang. 1. So 1 over 64. So therefore, if you will deduct, the answer is 63 over 64. Okay? So let's go back with our PDF. As you can see, the answer sa libro is 63 over 64. Okay, so we're done. I'll stop the sharing. Ibalikan na lang ito nagputol-putol later. I will